Hello all, Jamie Rodgers here for Craftmania, and today we have a brand new die of the week for you. And this week's die of the week certainly isn't going to break the bank. We have got a huge saving for you on a true essential die that I have a feeling you're going to use time after time. But before we begin chatting about this week's die of the week, please don't forget to hit subscribe and tap the bell so you're notified of all of our future videos here on YouTube. And if you're watching on one of our other social media platforms, then please make sure you're subscribed or following that platform too, so that you see all of our fresh new content. Now, this week in Craftmania's world, we've had a few changes, so let's just chat about those for a brief moment. We did upload a video about this the other day, and if you'd like to know more, then please do go check that one out. But in short, our postage changes come into effect on the 1st of November 2024. And now, anytime you spend over £10, you're going to receive free UK P&P. If it's less than £10, then there is a flat rate of £2.95 to be paid. If you wish to, you can also upgrade to first class P&P, which is something we've never done before. And that is a flat rate of £3.95. And it doesn't matter if you spend under £10 or over £10, it's just a way to get your products to you slightly quicker. None of this affects our international shipping. That is still capped at just £10. And if it costs more than £10 to send these items to you, then here at Craftmania we'll pay that difference for you. If it's less than £10, then we'll actually refund the difference for you as well. Now, on top of all of that exciting changes and news, we also launched our brand new Craftmania Inner Circle Reward Club, where for every £1 you spend, you're going to receive a point. As you collect your points, there will be different offers and promotions giving you the chance to cash your points in. But always running in the background will be that as you achieve 125 points, you'll be able to trade that in and spend that. It'll either be £5 if you're in our silver level, it'll be £6.25 if you're in our gold level, and it'll be worth £7.50 if you're on our diamond tier. And the more points you collect, the more you move up in the tiers. If you've got any questions, let me know in the comments, or do go back and watch the video we shared at the end of last week on the 1st of November, or of course pop onto the website www.craftmaniacraft.com, and on there you'll see a little banner that says Craftmania's Inner Circle Rewards. If you give that a click, it shows you all in like picture form what we're chatting about. So lots to catch up on before we chat about today's die of the week. So hopefully that was short and brief, but if you've got any questions, let me know. So this week's die of the week comes to us from Sue Wilson. It is a Creative Expressions die. We love bringing you these on our special offers because we know you're going to snap these up. We know you love them as much as we do. And this one is no different. This one should be £7.99, but you're actually saving more than you're spending. This die is only £3.50. So you're saving £4.50-ish and spending £3.50-ish. That gives you an incredible die. It's actually 10 centimetres by 4 centimetres is your approximate size. And to me, this is an essential. When in life do we not need to be saying thank you? This could be a thank you note to your window cleaner that you're going to pop this on. It could be thank you for your Christmas presents, thank you for your Easter eggs, thank you for coming to my birthday party, thank you for inviting me to your birthday party. There is no time in life we shouldn't be saying thank you. And here at Craftmania, we try to say thank you as often as we can, especially to all of you lot for watching our videos, purchasing and keeping us going. So thank you from us. But let's have a little look at a bit of inspiration with this die so that you can see more of what you could be creating with this one. So let's take you over to the actual die set. So this is your die on as you see it. So when this actually comes out of the pack, you've of course got your thank you die. It's all one die. You'll also notice that there are, and it doesn't show you too clearly here on the packaging, so I'll bring the die back in actually. There are some areas that are going to deboss for you as well, and that just gives it slightly more texture. You might be able to see that more on the actual samples as we go through them. But thank you Christmas cards. I don't know if people send these, but to me, I know as a child, and even as an adult, thank you notes at Christmas is something I've always loved to do, just to show appreciation for those people who have bought us gifts, or of course Father Christmas. And to me, it's a nice way to actually take your note and turn it into a card, something that can be displayed and put up onto the mantelpiece way after Christmas. just to share that sort of festive thank you. So this one's thank you across the middle has been double layered. So I've cut one in black, I've done one in gold mirror card. I've drop shadowed it by just gluing the two together, but with a slight drop. So the black halo sort of shows around the edge of the thank you. I've put this onto a vellum wrap round, and in the background here, I've stamped our lovely gift of Christmas stamp and coloured it in with alcohol markers. Very, very quick, very, very simple. And for anyone who's sort of postage savvy, quite a small size as well. I think this one was about a 4x6 to give you an idea of sizing. And of course, teamed up with that gold mirror card and our raven black card, it really just gives you that touch of elegance. Now moving on to our next one, this is a real quick, simple one to do as well. I'm going to give this a little lift up, hopefully so you can see it slightly better. And hopefully you're going to see the glaze coming through. So what I've done here is I've taken our Floral Delight 8x8 stencil. I've placed it over the top of a piece of our rose petal pink cardstock, and I've applied clear texture paste over the top of the stencil. I've let that dry, and then I've taken Piggy Pink ink pads and Elephant Grey ink pads. They're my ones, they're the quick dry pigment ink pads, and I've rubbed those really over the top of it to go in and colour in all of these areas in between. And I started off with light pink, but being honest with you, my light pink ink pad had got a bit of grey on it, so I ended up with some grey in different areas. So I thought, well, I'll add in more grey, so I bought that in the lovely Elephant Grey ink pad, rubbed that over the top as well. I then just used a cloth to clean off over the top where the clear texture paste had gone through the stencil. That wasn't going to accept the ink, it was going to sit on top of it because it's a pigment ink, so it's just going to stay on top. It's not one that's going to dry on top of non-porous surfaces or glossy surfaces. So I've wiped that off over the top of it to reveal our texture paste, and then of course our lovely colour in the background. Now I'm desperately trying to get you to see this because it actually looks really lovely in reality, but I don't know how well that's going to come across on screen. I've then again bought in some vellum, and I've wrapped that around in the middle here and added my thank you onto this one. I'll give that a little lift up as well because you might be able to see the debossing on the thank you really nicely here, because there is sort of little swishy bits that are coming around on several other points that look really lovely. I finished it off with just a little butterfly, and in honesty my butterfly is covering up a little gap here in my texture paste, so I've placed that over to one side, but of course you could add in more or less depending on what your layout and idea was there. But it's a very simple, quick, easy card to create. Now I haven't told you about this, I'm going to do it before I forget. All of the cards I share with you throughout this video, they will appear at 2 p.m. each day. So one card every day on our Craftmania Facebook page. If you haven't already gone and followed that, I'd urge you to go and keep an eye on that page. We share lots of information, lots of offers, lots of new arrivals, lots of different bits to keep you inspired. And our Die of the Week 2 p.m. posts are great for if you would like to go and click on the picture and save these so that when your die arrives with you, you've got that inspiration. You can make your own little album or know where you're going to be able to go and find them again at a later date if you would like to. On top of this, all of the bits that are on these cards, so when we're talking about the stencils, we're talking about the inks, we're talking about the butterflies, they will all go onto one page on the website. So again, when you go onto the website, www.craftmaniacrafts.com, you will find a little tab that says Die of the Week. It runs across the middle of the screen if you're on a desktop or a PC, and it'll be on the drop-down menu if you're on a mobile device. But on there, you will see Die of the Week. Give that a little click and it will take you through. You will see a picture of the die itself, because of each die of the week is pictured. We've done this pretty much throughout most of 2024. So there's a lot there you might want to go back and have a little look at if you haven't already seen them. But give them a little click on through, and then on that page, not only will our Die of the Week be all of the bits we're talking about, so all of them butterflies, gems, cardstock, everything will be on that page for you, so you don't have to go hunting around the website to find all of these bits. They'll all be there for you. So save your pictures on the Facebook page and pop onto the website, onto that one page, to find all the bits that you'd like to purchase. Now moving on to our third card. Now this one, I love doing these. This is our Gemstones texture paste. I'm going to be honest with you, I forgot the name. It's Aquamarine, of course it is. Our Aquamarine Gemstones texture paste. Put through our mini hearts stencil, and then I've stamped over the top of that with our lattice stamp. I love this combo. If you've not seen this combo before, I urge you to check this out, because you've got your lattice stamp and then you've got two different stencils. You've got a flower stencil and a heart stencil. You can put them over the top of the lattice stamp and create these two-tone effects, whether you're working in inks or different mediums, or like this one, our texture paste. up to you. I've then used our circular frames die as well to go around the edge here in Mirror Card, and I've put that onto some of our new foam tape. I'm going to show you the foam tape in a minute, actually. I will show you that because that's lovely and very cost effective. I've then also added in our butterfly. So this is our elegant butterfly. I've double stacked that to create a bit of depth, and I've added our thank you on down the bottom here. Now I'm going off on tangents today. I wasn't going to plan on showing you this, but if you haven't seen our new foam tape here at Craftmania, go check these out. These are huge. If I hold them up that way, they're bigger than my head. Well, just about maybe, but they are huge. These are 1mm and 2mm rolls of foam tape, and you're going to receive 50 meters, 50 meters on each roll. So 1mm 50 meters, 2mm 50 meters. They're gigantic and they're going to save you an absolute fortune. The recommended retail price to each of these is $12.99 per roll. Of course, at Craftmania, we have a cheeky saving for you. So they've currently got 10% off. I don't know what that makes them, but it's going to save you about £1.30, isn't it? Roughly. So a little bit less than that, than your $12.99 recommended retail price. But when we talk about foam tape, we stock a few brands here at Craftmania. Usually, you're going to find that you get 2 meters per pound. It's how it tends to work out approximately. So 2 meters per pound, 50 meters, that's going to cost you £25. These are just shy of half that price because you're only paying $12.99. And again, you're going to save 10%. And on top of that, you're going to get your inner circle reward points too. So savings everywhere. Great way to stock up on foam tape, and it's a really lovely one. And I know it's got my name on it, so I've got to say that, but you can tear it so you don't have to keep cutting it, and it's not one of them really gunky ones, and it's not one of those ones where the lid coming off the top is a right pain. It's just a genuinely good foam tape to play with, and I'm really enjoying having that 1mm height because I'm using that on a lot of these because it just saves on postage, and even the 2mm just gives you that little lift but without too much depth. So again, if postage is something you're conscious of, then that could really help. Or even if you just want to cut down on the height that you're working with. I like a lot of foam tape between my layers, but I've really enjoyed having that slightly less step that you're going to get with when you're using 3mm foam tape. So that's something new to check out as well. Then moving on to our next card. So this time I'll give that a little lift as well. I've used our heart stencil in the background and I've embossed it with our rubber mat for our machine. I've brought in the scalloped pierced squares to do 2 of my layers, the plain square to do one of the other layers. I've used the dotted stencils down the side here, and this is with the Larimar gemstones texture paste. I've die cut my butterfly and I've done it in silver for the back and blue for the top. This is our night sky navy, and then I've used the same gemstones texture paste to just brush over the edges to colour the wings of the butterfly, just to give a little bit of that same matching tone. And then I've taken the silver and the blue and I've cut these out and layered them together and then just foam padded that onto my card. Very quick, very simple, very easy. Sometimes we don't always have that much time, do we, to make our cards? So these ones were done pretty quickly or could be done pretty quickly if that's something you'd like to do. Now I'm just going to 3D my wings on this one. This one is using our lovely pearl card. And again, we've got our pearl card in a huge value saving packs or smaller 10 packs. And I've gone ahead and I've cut out 2 of my pieces with this one and my banner. I've brought in some vellum to wrap around once again. I've die cut the elegant butterfly to double stack on the top there, and I've also used our kaleidoscope butterfly stencil in the background to emboss with, once again with a rubber mat through my machine, just to create that embossed look in the background. Then moving on to our penultimate card. I know, how quickly have we run through these this week? This one is using our foiled inkables. Now I never get that name right, so by the time I say it again it'll probably be wrong, but I believe it's our foiled inkables, and we're looking at our entwined, oh, I've gone and forgot the name of which one we're looking at now. Let's bring them in. There's 4 of these. There is silver marble, there is gold marble, there is gold entwined pansies, and there are silver entwined pansies, and you get 5 A4 sheets per packet. And these are so much fun to play with. because of the foiled inkable name basically refers to the idea that we have foiled cardstock that is uncoated and untreated. So it means that you can ink, you can mist, you can spray, you can do all different techniques over the top of the white area and then just brush it off of the silver. The silver or the gold will resist it, meaning that you're going to colour the white a colour but leave that silver and gold as the colour you want it to be, which is the silver and the gold. So on this one, I've bought in some distress inks and I used 3 different purples or lilacs. There was, and I wrote these down earlier and now I've forgot them, shaded lilac, wilted violet, and seedless preserves. And I've just distressed over them. I misted it with some water, I cleaned off the top, then I put it onto a scoreboard and I scored it at every 1/2 centimetre just to give that a bit more of a textural look to it. And then I added a little ribbon around the edge here and I've added thank you on the bottom. Again, drop shadow in white and black and foam padded onto the project. I feel I could have possibly brought in a butterfly or something else at the top here, maybe a heart or a frame, I don't know, maybe something else. But actually I really like this background and I didn't want to cover that up. If you love the look of these, we also do the frames as well, which are foiled inkables, and these come in gold and silver in squares and circles, and they work in exactly the same way. So if you've not seen this concept before, have a little look out for those. Moving on, sharing with you another one of these foiled inkables. And actually, we did a live the other day on Jamie Rodgers Crafts. And honestly, I don't know where it's gone. It's just disappeared. We did it on Thursday night. So it was Halloween. So there weren't many viewers. And it was just a really chilled out, really relaxed live. And we went through lots of different techniques. We had a really good chat. We had a jolly good laugh. And at the end of it, we went to publish it. And it just disappeared. Gone. No idea where it's gone. I've emailed Facebook and asked them, where have you taken it? I feel like I'm asking for my ball back. I'm like, where's my video gone? I want it back. But of course, Facebook haven't yet replied, which is very rude. But if it does come back, then we'll of course publish that on the Jamie Rodgers Crafts YouTube channel. But we went through and we did a lot of the bits on this card on that live. But in short, just in case you were somebody who didn't get to see it, because I know lots of you are out for Halloween, we took the Floral Melody stamp and we actually stamped using the Elite Misters. And this is our Night Sky Navy Misters. I love these because there's so much we can do with them. So we we loaded it onto a blending tool, not this one because this is my one that's covered in glue, but one of these. We put the ink onto the bottom here. We went over the Floral Melody stamp and then we stamped it down. And I like to do that because it shows you how well you can stamp with our Elite Misters. They look really crisp and really lovely, kind of fabric-esque. I don't know why, but they do. And then we used our foiled inkables in the background and I misted all over that with the same colour. And then because of this is the joy with our Elite Misters, they match in with the colours of cardstock that we do. So this is the Night Sky Navy cardstock, so is the layer at the bottom here. And this is what I wanted when we bought you Misters, was to give you the ability to match them in to the cardstock. So you're not trying to colour loads of card to match in with your layers, but everything's going to coordinate. So whether you stamp it, mist it, paint it, it's going to match. So we stamped this one, we misted this one, we layered it together with the matching card, and we added the thank you onto the front there just to tie it all together. And this to me reminds me a little bit of like a posh department store. I think it's the gold and that sort of elegant swirl. Maybe it's the florals, I don't know. But whatever it is, gives me sort of kind of posh department store-esque vibes. So that gives you 7 different projects which I've made with this die set to give you a bit of inspiration on what you could be achieving. But I genuinely, as I said at the beginning of this video, think this is one of those die sets that it isn't about just butterflies or flowers or even Christmas. It's going to be one of them ones you reach for time after time because it's a nice size. It's big enough that it could be your focal point. It's big enough that it could go on the insert and not be lost. It's big enough that it could go on a gift tag, but it's not too big. It's not one of those ones that's going to steal the show and you're not going to be able to do anything else with it. When you look through these projects, you can see I've gone all the way from sort of 4x6 or A6 kind of size, right the way up to 8x8, I suppose, and it still fits on all of them. So to me, that's a really good sign of a die. And at only £3.50, there's going to be no better time to get hold of this one. Now, don't forget, if you do spend over £10, you're going to get your free UK second class PMP. If you want to upgrade that to first class, that would be £3.95, but you certainly don't have to. You know we get them out the door to you as quickly as we possibly can. So your free PMP threshold at £10 is going to get this to you nice and quickly anyway. But if you do want to upgrade, if you're in a real rush, then you can do. We tell you that more on these videos, so you know about that. If you've got an order that comes in that you've got to make something, or you've lost something, or you're in a hurry, it's nice to know that option exists. But we certainly don't expect you to check out and pay for postage. We've always told you at Craftmania, we want to save you as much money as we can when it comes to things like P&P, or if we can bring you bigger value items, because in that way you've either got more pennies in your purse or your wallet, or it means you've got more pennies to spend on exciting stuff like having lovely new dies. So this one, £3.50. As I say, spend £10, you'll get free UK P&P. If you wish to upgrade to first class, you can do. Of course, if you're watching us from around the world, welcome. Lovely to have you with us. Of course, we'll send this to you anywhere in the world, and your P&P is capped at just £10. If you have any questions about anything I've mentioned, please let me know in the comments and I'll do my best to answer them for you. Don't forget that the link directly to take you to the page I keep talking about is in the description if you would prefer. But if you'd like to have a little browse, pop onto the website www